Good morning and welcome to a frosty morning in Cumbria. As you can see behind me, there's Chris and we have Louise. So full team today, all on, well, two of us on Equinox and Louise on the Xterra Pro. See you all on first. There we go, that's my first find. I would say that's a lead stylus, I think anyway. But that's my first proper find. I've had a couple of buttons before that. The usual musket ball. I won't be bothered to filming any more of those, but yeah, still just had lead and buttons. There are buttons galore on this field. I found so many thinking I found a coin. Anyway, I'm showing this one purely because it's quite nice. Yeah, there we are. I think it's livery button. I've just spent a good half hour, 45 minutes looking for my pinpointer. Whilst I was looking for the pinpointer, Louise was looking down at Chris and said, Chris looks like he's lost something. He'd lost his digging tool, so between us, poor Louise has brought the geriatrics out today. Good Lord. Anyway, we're all sorted now, both been found. So my next find is a pot leg. Don't usually find them this tall, long and tall, but that's definitely where the leg is fitted. Oh dear, fitted to the pot. Hence, pot leg. Right, Louise has got a couple of coins. When we stop for lunch, I'll catch up and show you those, and we'll see what Chris has got. This one's a big chunk of lead. No idea if it's got a purpose or not. We're not going to be here for too long today. Louise has got school pick up soon, so we've only got 4 hours between us. Okay, so I'll carry on. I'm going to get car ready in a minute and go and pick them two up. So after the last clip, in true Bludicas fashion, I went on to lose the clips of what I filmed next. As it goes, for me personally, it wasn't much. I filmed my first coin, which was a 2p, and I went on to film a 5p. So not bad really, considering. But I did actually miss Chris shouting that he found a hammered. And I had every intention of filming that whilst on the field, but by the time I got back to the car, drove it down to pick them up, it was nearing time to pick the children up. So here we have it. You've got it here. I'm going to do the rest from here. You've seen the pot leg. You've seen the button. That was another button. Not terribly special, but button all the same. Right, we'll go on to Louise's finds and then we'll end on Chris's ultimate find. Right, so Louise's finds. Louise hasn't really been using her Xterra Pro that many times. If you put together the hours that she'd actually used it, it wouldn't be many hours. She sort of jumps in and out with children to look after. She'll only ever come for 2 or 3 hours. So if you put the hours together, honestly, it'd probably make 10, 15 hours complete. So she's not doing bad. She is getting to grips with it. So it's the Xterra Pro. So she's had, I've just washed all these, and apart from what you see here, she dug up 3 hot rocks and stuck them in a bag as well, and I've thrown them out. So all this is what Louise got in the space of 3 hours. Lead. She got a wing nut. She's actually got herself another cartwheel penny. She's had 2 of these now. Quite a pretty button. Flower on. This is quite heavy. I'm wondering whether this is a similar sort of pot leg type thing to what I found. Not sure, but it's heavy. She's had a bird ring. Right, so we've got Great Britain, 10, so that could be 2010, not sure, and numbers. So she's had that. Another coin, I can't see anything on this. Halfpenny size, and piece of lead. I kept this one separate because I thought it had got something on it, but maybe not. Yeah, so another piece of lead. And this, bless her, she gave me a shout on the radio. She thought she'd found a Roman. It's not a Roman, and I hate having to tell her that on the field. I said, no, I'm sorry, it's not. Whether it's been a copper hammered or not, I don't know. Very, very thin. And that's it for Louise. So we'll get on to Chris's finds now. So we'll start with his lesser finds. He's got part of a spoon bowl. He appears to have had a buckle day. Clog clasp, not a clasp clog. Piece of lead, lots of buttons. This one I think will be a Tudor button. It's a rounded one. And now we'll go on to his very, very best find. Before we go on to Chris's hammered coin, his best find of the day, he did find another one of these. There's two of these he's had recently. Almost like an earring. The other one was just the same. There's a little nick there where you'd think something would pivot for an earring. It's not silver, I've checked it, but it's identical to the other one that he had. We don't know what they are, so if anybody has any idea what these could be, let us know, please. Thank you. And this is the next. I've actually put it next to a 5p, Queen Elizabeth II 5p, so that you can actually appreciate the size. It is tiny, and he's done very well to find it. And there's the thistle. Possibly the other way around. Chris always laughs at me because whenever I find one of these, I always say it looks more like a pineapple, but it's thistle. So it's a Scottish coin. James the VI of Scotland, or James the I of England. James Charles Stuart. And it is a penny. So I did look into some history about James I, and if you've got the time, I'll just go through a brief description about him. James I was the most academically gifted monarch. He'd hoped to bring peace to Europe, but had to settle with peace between England and Scotland. One of his first acts in power was to cement the Church of England as the official religion of England. He was known to have translated the Bible into English, and it's still widely used today. He inherited the throne because he was Queen Elizabeth's first closest relative. He called himself the King of Great Britain and Ireland, which was the first time the phrase Great Britain had been used. He married Anne of Denmark when she was just 14 years old. He went on to have 9 children, of which only 3 lived. Charles, Elizabeth, and Henry. He died from natural causes in his own bed in 1625, unlike his mother or his son Charles. But that's another story. Okay, just a little bit of history there about him. If you start digging deep, you can get completely lost amongst it. But we learn a little bit every day. Anyway, I'll close it off there. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next dig. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.